Eso fue lo que dijiste tú. No era amor, no era amor, pero a mí sí me partió en dos. No era amor, no era amor, pero a mí sí me partió en dos. No era amor, no era amor.
Grandmaster Diptayan Ghosh played this spectacular game and won this endgame in an amazing style. In this position, whatever you do, you're just losing. Maybe you can try with g3, that was played in the game, but here rook to d4 is a serious attempt. Maybe you can try to do something, but the thing is that here rook to e4, then after rook captures, bishop captures, rook to c1, you're gonna have to try and defend. But I'll just go back, attack the different pawn, and then you can understand that them being on the light squares is the problem. And after king to e6, all I have to do is just get the king here. Let's say you try king to e3, king to d5, and if you try to stop me, then just comes rook to d8, and after bishop to g3, rook to e8. I'm controlling this entire file, and somewhere along the line I'm gonna enter, and there is only what you can do is just watch me enter inside your position and take away your game. But after the c3, much more brutal thing happened, because after g3, just rook to e6 was played, but now just comes rook to d4, g5, and this g5 is a beautiful move, because here after h captures, f captures, and bishop captures was played. Now you must be thinking, what's the beautiful idea? It just rook caps on d6, and now if you trade, then we reach an endgame where you have light squared pawns, and this is going to be completely over and much sooner than you think. Here rook to c4, that's why I was played, but now just comes rook to d5, attacking the bishop, bishop moves, and rook d to e5, putting some pressure on that bishop. And Jan in this position decide to go for rook to f1 to try and go for some tricks in this position, but there doesn't exist any. And you can just go for this rook caps on e3 right away, and after rook caps on c6, trying to deflect the defense of that other rook, you just go for rook to e2 check, and after king to g1, just king to g6, and after rook caps on e6, rook captures, rook to f2, trying to stop me, but hey, just rook to d6, and I'm just jumping in no matter what you do in this position. So that was one way to win. But after rook to f1, king to g8 was played. Just Diptayan Ghosh didn't want to take any risks. Here after g4, just comes rook caps on e3, rook caps on c6, and after rook to e2 check, king moves, and here just rook caps on c6, king captures, and rook to d6 was played. And here Jan Nepomniachtchi barely resigned the game, and when I say barely, he didn't even properly shake the hand of his opponent, and let alone then the comments he made about the organizers and the place that he stayed in was utterly spiteful. Because if you have any concerns, you share it before the round, not after the result has come in. And for any chess player, all I can say is that Jan is an absolute legend, but you know, giving excuses like this can never help anyone's game ever.